I hope you came with some good questions and stuff, or something. What you up to, Ed?
We saw that movie last night, Stars Born.
What was it?
Stars Born, the one with Lady Gaga. And
Oh, how was it?
I was, I don't want to ruin it for anybody. There were parts of it that I thought were just a lot of baloney.
Was it political or something?
Not explicitly so.
Oh, what was?
Well, I guess.
What was baloney?
The basic story is, she becomes a star and he stays kind of where he was. And I didn't like that part of it.
Oh.
But
she became the star, he became the loser?
Yes.
It's like that nowadays.
That's what bothered me. I thought it'd be a lot more powerful movie if he could figure out a way out.
Amazing. You liked it? And
Live.
what?
Live.
Live. Welcome to church. I'm Jesse Peterson. Thank you for being with me. You can get involved by going to YouTube Live, and whatever your questions or comments are, we will get to them today. And so good morning, everybody here again. I'm glad to see everybody. Isn't this amazing? I do have something I want to talk about, but I'd like to give you a chance first, because I don't want you to just come to church and just hear the preacher and go home the same way that you came with your problems, right? And so anybody have any questions or comments or anything? Yes, sir. Hold on for a minute for the mic.
Hey, Jesse, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well.
Oh, good.
Yeah. I'm kind of shook up, actually, a little bit, because in the last couple of weeks, so I've been doing the silent prayer, and I've been learning from you, and I've been sort of seeing, I've heard you say sometimes that what's going on with people with anger, with hatred, it's a spirit.
Right.
And I guess I'm maybe starting to see that in my life. And like seeing it doesn't make it go away, but I'm seeing it and like it's kind of like living with it right now. It's weird. And anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Maybe you have something you want to say about that. And I have two questions I want to ask.
Okay.
Also.
How do you feel about seeing it?
It's distressing a little bit.
And why? Why?
Because I can see what it does in my life.
Yeah.
I can see the effects and like the consequence of it being there.
Yes.
And it sucks. It's not good.
So here's what you should stop doing.
Okay.
Just relax and be happy to see it.
All right.
Because if you see it and you resent it, it's going to create a problem for you. You don't want to have an opinion about it. Be glad that you can finally see, and it's going to be amazing. It'll be taken away from you. Because the battle is between the light and the darkness.
Yeah.
And it's not yours to fight, because there's nothing you can do about it. So you just watch it, and that's all. You become the observer.
Okay.
He doesn't need your help at all.
That's what I was going to ask you, is like, what do I need to do what can I do about it? Like, how can I get rid of it?
Nothing. You've done all you need to do, and just to realize that being angry is evil, and that is wrong, and it separates you from God, because you're playing God. Now that you've admitted that, you see it, you'll be fine. Yeah. So the ego wants to fight it, but there's nothing you can do, because it's a spiritual battle. And of yourself, you can do nothing about it, so accept that. And put up no resistance. Otherwise, Satan is going to defeat you again, because he wants you to judge it. He wants you to be upset about it. He wants you to have an opinion. Don't. Just relax.
You know, I'm starting to see it's related to sexual lust. So I always thought that it was just natural for humans to just want to have sex. And they do it natural. It is natural, but I'm starting to see
It's
that
a natural, unnatural.
my desire for it, my focus on it.
Yeah.
I mean, I love it. But I mean, but on the other hand, I'm starting to see like, oh, I love it in a way that's like, I don't understand why exactly I love it that much.
Because
And I'm suspicious of it.
you love it because you hate women.
Yeah.
You hate your mother, you hate all women.
I didn't know that. And
So what?
I just didn't know that.
Yeah. And men hate their
But it's
mothers.
true.
And so as a result, they have a love-hate relationship with all women. And so they're trying to get something from women that they don't have. Men are trying to get love from women, and women don't have love to give. But they don't realize they're trying to get mama's love. And that's why relationships don't work. Or if men do get married, they become the boys, and the wife becomes the mother to the man.
Yeah.
Because they're still trying to get mama's love. But when you forgive your mother, then God's going to take her identity away from you. Then you can be a man in the right way, and the order will change. And so the sexual desires will come under control. And you only need to do it when you want to make a baby.
Yeah.
That's the only reason for sex, is to make children.
Yeah.
And if you're not going to have children, there's no reason to have sex. But once you stop resenting your mother, you'll have control over it. It'll come under control.
Okay. All right. I'm just going to trust that.
Yeah, it really will.
All right.
I guarantee you that if you didn't resent women, if you didn't resent your mother,
Yeah.
you wouldn't be that attracted to sex.
Yeah.
You would not. But it's just you're trying to get some. Women receive love. They don't give love. It's God in Christ, Christ in man, man over woman, woman over children, and it comes down from above. But when you try to get love from her, you're trying to make her do something she doesn't have. And sex is not love. It becomes like a drug. You become addicted to it because you need it to keep feeling better.
Right.
And so the woman becomes the drug dealer, sex dealer, and you become the addict. And then she hates you for it. Because she really doesn't want you turning her into a whore, but you do trying to make yourself feel better. Yeah. And she'll do it just to have that control over you, but it's not what she wants. She hates you for being weak, but she can't let you go because she's insecure and controlling you and the children and the cats and the dogs and the grass and the paint on the house. Give her a sense of security.
Yeah.
But she'd rather for you to be a man and not need her in that way. So just relax in it and do the prayer. Stay with the prayer,
Yeah.
and it'll pass. You'll find yourself. Your mind is going to be renewed. You're going to have develop a solid mind, a stable mind, not a double-minded person. And then in that mindset, you're going to have peace and you'll have control over it. It won't be a big deal. But you need to relax and don't freak out.
Okay.
And be grateful that you can see. God loves you enough that he allows you to see. Most people can't see. So you're fortunate that you can see. And because all angry people are blind, they cannot see. Isn't that something?
Yeah, that's something.
Did you forgive your mother?
You know, I
Beta.
thought I already did.
Oh.
And I went to her and I had a talk with her and I told her that I forgive her.
Yeah.
But
You
it's
have
funny
not?
that I did.
Oh, okay.
And then since that day, though, I've been coming to be able to see things that I didn't know I was angry about.
Yes.
Like more things are coming up that I didn't forgive her for that because I didn't even know I was angry about it. It was
Right.
like hidden.
Right.
And I'm finding more things to forgive. I
Well-
guess, do I need to call her over or go see her again and again? Tell her about each thing or what?
No.
Okay.
Once you forgave her because you realized she couldn't help herself,
Yeah.
and it's wrong for you to resent her because it separates you from God,
Right.
and you become like her. You became like her, right?
Uh-huh.
So once you realize it's wrong to have that judgment,
Yeah.
and you went and forgave her, you're done with that.
Okay.
And so now you're seeing all the stuff that you refused to face before.
Right.
It's all being revealed to you.
Yeah.
And so just watch it and let it pass. You don't need to keep going back. You've already done all you need to do.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, and I went and saw my dad 2 weeks ago too.
How did
But,
that go?
It was good, man. It was pretty cool. We didn't talk a whole lot. He just he looked like he was going to cry,
Yeah.
and then he told me, we do the best we can, and I feel like I did the best I could, but there's a lot I wish I could have done a whole lot better.
Yeah.
He told me that, and he said thank you, and and I told him, I'm sorry for resenting him in the ways that I was,
Yeah.
and for acting out the way I have a lot of times, and he said he already forgives me. It was
Amazing.
cool talk, yeah.
How old are you?
35.
Man, it's a nice time to be waking up.
Yeah.
That
cool.
is great. So now just relax and go for the ride.
All right.
You have not seen anything yet. It's going to be amazing. Your heart is being renewed. Your mind is being renewed. So when you're in situations now, speak up, but don't resent. And if you do fall into your imagination and you feel anger, relax. It's just you're growing away from the imagination. So you're still learning how to let it pass. So it's no big deal. It's no sign of failure or anything. You're just lost in your imagination. And you'll look back one day and you're going to have the life that you cannot believe. But it's the life that God created for you instead of the one you tried to create for yourself.
Yeah. I'm starting to see that too. It's weird. I'm starting to be able to see anyway, I don't need to get into it too much. Maybe that's just my imagination anyway. But
What? See like what?
That there's another life available. And it's and there's something in me that's like, no, maybe it thinks that that's boring, or it thinks that I won't like it, but I know that that's not true. I can hear that that's not
yes.
right.
Wow. Well, that's your ex-daddy, Satan,
Yeah.
trying to tell you, no, don't do it. He
Right.
wants you to believe back into the lie again. Don't believe it. Just relax. You can see it. You're on your way.
Cool.
And it's like magical. The struggle is over now for you. And he's going to add things to you that's going to blow your mind.
Right on.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
So relax and don't judge yourself as right or wrong, good or evil. You're on your way.
All right. Thanks.
You said you had a couple questions?
All right. Yeah. This is maybe kind of like your style of question that I hear you ask people.
Ooh.
But I'd like to hear from you, because I've been thinking about this and I don't know the answer for sure. What is a Christian?
It's a man or woman who have faith and have become a son or daughter of God. Not one just naming and claiming it. Not the one that went down to the front of the church and said, oh, I believe Jesus is the Son of God, and he died, he rose on the cross, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then read the Bible and just quote scripture. But one who actually believe it and become that way. A living example of it. That's a Christian.
Actually believe, you said they actually believe it. Actually believe
They have
what?
faith in God.
Okay.
Yeah, and their heart has changed, and so they are what they say. A lot of Christians say things, but they're not that way, and that's what turned the kids off and everything, right?
Yeah.
But you have become that. Become a son of God.
Does it matter that I don't believe the stories in the Bible exactly?
You're probably better off,
Okay.
because people who believe in the stories can't believe in God. Because they believe in the Bible, they believe in the letters, so they don't have the spirit of it.
Yeah. Right.
So you're better off not knowing it. And so now when you pick up the Bible and read it, you're going to see clearly what you're reading. It will be revealed to you. But most people intellectually learn the Bible,
Yeah.
but nothing changes. Except their ego is built, so they know the Bible, but their lives are screwed up. They're looking for love, they get angry, the kids are screwed up, husbands and wives are fighting, they have fear and doubt and all of that, but they know the Bible.
Yeah.
They know the stories. That's not what you want. So you're fortunate that you don't know. When I tried to learn the Bible too, before I woke up, and I could not remember the scriptures. And all my friends were like quoting the Bible and like really into it. And so I would mark my Bible in different colors and try to remember, but I couldn't remember the scriptures. And now I'm grateful that I could not, because it would have gotten in my way. Because Satan used the Bible to make you think you know God.
Yeah.
So you're fortunate. That was a tough question, Jesse question. Another one?
Oh, the other one is, what is a man?
What is a man? A man is a male who's overcoming his maleness, and he's become a son of God. He believes in him, and he is a representation of that. When the world see you, they see the Father in you. That's a man. He has love. He's of love.
Yeah. All right, that's right. Okay. Cool.
Man, stay with it.
All
You're
right.
so on your way.
All right.
And don't stop. Stay with the prayer. Make sure you pray morning and night.
Yeah.
Watch and observe. And it's just going to change by itself. You cannot change yourself.
Yeah, that's true. That's what I was feeling worried about.
And the
I can't
addiction
do
that
it.
you have, it'll fade away. Don't worry about it. If you feel that way, you notice that, oh, I feel like sex or something, just relax in the pain. Go to it and relax in it, but have no opinion about it. And Satan's going to tell you, oh, man, look, you're not saved. You're not this or that, right? He's lying. Every thought you get is the lie. So just relax and go for the ride now.
Word.
Anybody disagree with all that? Yes, Joe. You had your hair?
Yeah.
Thanks, Jesse.
You're welcome, man. That's something else.
No, I went to apologize to my mom last Sunday, and I've been here at Bond for about a year and a half, and I went when I first came, I went to forgive my parents. I spoke with my mom and my dad, and I forgave them, but nothing really changed.
Yeah.
But recently, last week, I forgave my dad. I went and spoke with my dad again and apologized, like 2 months ago, and that went great. But I really found that my resentment came from my mom, so I went last Sunday to just apologize. And I didn't know if I wanted to do it because I wasn't sure if I would genuinely forgive her. But I just went to apologize. And when I went to apologize, like, it went totally incredible to where I was free in that moment just by apologizing. But what drove me to do it was I realized last Sunday that I was wrong for resenting her. And because I could see I was wrong for resenting her, that's all I needed to do was just admit that I was wrong. So even if I wasn't ready to necessarily forgive, I knew that I was wrong. And I went there and told her I was wrong, but after that, I was completely, like, it's been a total change. Like you told him, that it was magical.
Yes.
It's like a weird thing that I didn't know really would happen, to where I really feel, like you said on the radio show last week, that there's a foundation now. And I totally feel like there's a foundation. It's a change
That's right.
from what it was last week. It's crazy, to where sometimes I don't know what to do with myself. Because it's like
Girl,
you can,
like rolling on the floor. I don't know what to do. I'm so free. I can see. That's nice, man.
right. It's just clear. Things are just clear. I mean, and Satan still gets busy, but things are clear. I can see clear. I have more confidence to say things. Is that when I look within, I don't see resentment towards my mom or my
That's right.
dad, and it's like an absence of resentment. It's interesting.
Right on. That's something else, Joel. Y'all know Joel? He used to be on the hate report. He got fired.
Yeah, I got fired.
It's funny, he got fired and now he worked for the white man. He used to work with the white man, but because he was lazy, he got fired and now he worked for the white man. Isn't that right?
Whatever.
But if you notice, God doesn't tell us, in order to be born again, you need to learn the scriptures. Go and read the Bible and remember the scriptures. He doesn't say that. He said, confess that you are wrong and you shall be born again. So all you have to do is admit that you're wrong for having this anger, for resenting. And then he will bring you into the kingdom of heaven within. It will happen. But the preachers are telling you, you got to learn the Bible, you got to quote the scriptures, you got to do this. And majority of people are doing it, and their lives are just screwed up. I saw all their kids down at the Slut Walk yesterday. You know, because the Christian parents are not a living example of what they are trying to pass on to their children. And instead of giving the kids love, they're giving them hatred. ego, and it's just not working. So he said, before you enter into the kingdom of heaven, you must be born again. And the way you be born, because every person who has anger is the son or daughter of Satan. He's your daddy. I don't care how much you read the Bible, all the night you could feed the homeless, you can work until you're black and blue in the face, but if you have one iota of anger, Satan is your daddy. Say hi to your daddy. And but once you forgive, then God become your father, and things start to change. You can have a life. And then you're controlled by him and not by your father, the devil. The average person don't want to admit that Satan is their daddy. Who want to say Satan is my daddy? It's like every man that has anger is a woman, because it's abnormal for men to have anger. You become like what you hate. You take on the identity of your mother. Or if you had a father who hated his mother and his mother's spirit is in her, if you hate your father, you take that on too. But it's not normal for men to be angry. It's not normal for men to look for love. That's why it's not working. Because it's abnormal. Let me take here first.
Well, I just really related to what you said about the Bible and reciting, word for word and the stories and stuff. Like, for me, I grew up having a learning disability quote, and I had to run around in school, and, we're taught that we need an education and we have to, learn all these things and memorize history and all these things. And for a long time as a kid, I always thought that I was missing out on an education, and that, I've always done music, so I was on my path of knowing that I wanted to do that. But since I, forgave and in my life, I'm really thankful that I didn't get the education, because I think for myself as opposed to thinking for
right.
what I'm supposed to think, because I think schools teach you how you should think instead of how to think for yourself. So I just related to that. That's all I was going to say.
That's right. There's nothing like being yourself and thinking for yourself. It's so amazing. It really is. Let me ask, in the green shirt, what do you think about what you're here right now? Yes. This your first time here?
Yes, first time.
Oh, what's your name?
Tony?
Hey, Tony, how you doing?
Good, I'm doing great.
And so, how did you hear about us?
My brother actually tuned me on to, he watches your podcast, and
Oh,
I've seen
good.
it a couple of times.
I'm glad you. So, what do you think about what you're here right now?
I'm just trying to absorb the information and, take something out of it and
Oh, okay.
get closer to God. And,
Good, man. Do you have any questions for me?
not at this moment, but my brother did.
Oh, your brother does. Okay. All right.
Yeah, I kind of dragged them in here. We're actually Catholics, but kind of rebellious because they just kicked out one of my favorite Catholics from Catholic radio here, the Jesse and Terry show, and they're really working hard to get the homosexuals out of the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
Because they infiltrated, and it wasn't organic. It was actually paid for, and thousands were put in there to destroy the church. And they got kicked out of the radio station when the big money took over it.
Yeah.
But so we were going to go to the Catholic Church. I said, you know what? I'm never here. We always travel to L.A. for work. We have a business.
Oh, okay.
But we're here Monday to Friday, and I could never make it here. But this
Right.
time they wanted to come and
Oh, good.
fool around a little bit.
This your first time here?
Yeah. So
Oh, really? Your first time too?
That's correct.
That's
yes,
amazing.
yeah.
Welcome, man.
Yeah. Thanks.
And so you're no longer a Catholic?
Well, I'm a Catholic in line with Christ, and it really, I like to talk to priests. I'm enjoying myself, and I talk to them, and I tell them, hey, you know what? We need to get the homosexuals out of the church.
Yeah.
And true love for the homosexual is not keeping them homosexual and saying that we have to have respect and dignity for them. You're sending them to hell if you believe in Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's right.
The true love is to show them.
Be honest with them.
Be honest with them.
Yeah.
And tell them that they can overcome. And they always say, no, it can't be done. They were born that way. And what I say is, Jesus rose from the dead, and he lifted people from the dead. You
That's
think
right.
he can't remove homosexuality? Come on.
So, what good has it done you to be a Catholic?
I've learned some basics, but yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of work to be done, but I enjoy it because I like the challenge of trying to overhaul the system, because I finally found something that that I could believe I could do and be useful.
Right.
Because we started businesses, we've got real estate, we've done okay for ourselves, but it hasn't filled me 100%.
That's
I
right.
feel like I have to do something spiritual too.
It will never fulfill you. You could gain the world and still lose your soul, and you'll still be empty, because only a return to the Father will do that. You're absolutely right. What attracted you about the message that you heard from me on YouTube?
Because you're not making excuses. You're saying, hey, take responsibility for yourself. It's your fault. And what you need, and it's not, don't point the finger at anybody else. You need to go, get on your knees, pray to God, and He'll help you.
Yeah.
And don't tell God how to help you. Ask Him, do what thy will.
Let His
do
will
your
be
will,
done.
not our,
That's
not
right.
our will.
Amazing. And so, are you married?
Yeah, she's my
Oh, that's your wife?
Yes.
Amazing. And so, are you alpha or beta with your wife?
Mostly alpha, but when I choose to, I give her some leeway.
And so, sometimes you become beta,
Only in very rarely, very rarely.
but once in a while.
Yeah, like when I don't care, like, oh, you choose the color of the sofas, whatever. I don't care.
And so, when it's time to decide the color of the sofa or something, you become beta.
Yeah, because I don't want the responsibility to have so much things to do, and so I
Yeah,
kind
you
of.
shouldn't be making that decision anyway, because it's her job to decorate the house.
Correct.
That's not a man's thing to do, unless you don't have a wife.
Correct.
So that's not beta. That's the right thing to do.
I had a question. Maybe I don't know. I'll pass it to someone else. if
No,
I'm
don't
taking too
worry.
long.
This is for you. Don't
Right.
worry. Yeah.
I kind of noticed that everything I've gotten into, I noticed no matter how good it is, the devil infiltrates it. Like, let's say, people are saying God is love. Well, I think there's even a devil love, because you can love tequila, you can love women, you can love gambling, you can
Yeah.
love, and now I even saw a shirt at one of the stores that says, love won, and then it had the rainbow flag, let love win, it had the rainbow flag in it. So, you could turn everything that is good into something bad.
Yes.
I mean, this
That
is gonna.
is such a good point you're making, man. And so your question is what?
Do you agree that even there's a false Christ? There's a false Christ. I believe in Jesus Christ, but sometimes it doesn't mean anything when you say, I believe in Christ, because there's so many different ways to believe in it that
Wow, man.
that even there's a false Christ, and it's just so hard. You just have to pray every night and say, God, please, your will be done, because no matter what I get into, it gets perverted in some way.
Yes. I totally understand that. And Brenda wants to respond to that. My friend Brenda. So Brenda, you're walking down the road in your halo, right? Tell me your first name again. What's your
My name's Gilbert.
And Gilbert sees you walking down the road. He's coming this way. He's like, wow, that woman has a halo. And he's like, I see your halo. And I have one question. Is there like more than one kind of love? What is this thing going on? Everything I get into seems to go wrong like that. It's not really what I thought. What would you say to him that he's doing wrong? Well, not even doing wrong. What would you say to him?
I'm sorry. Say it again.
Your question is, isn't there more than one kind of love or something, right?
Yeah, everything gets perverted.
Right.
And just that everything gets perverted, and the only thing we have is Jesus, and that's all we need, actually. We have
Yeah.
to go and we have to ask God
So-
to do His will. We can't even tell Him what to do, because
That's right.
it's just so complicated.
So everything gets perverted. Why?
Because you're not listening to God. There's only one truth, and the truth comes from God.
And how do
so-
you listen to God? So he's going to want to know, Miss, how do you listen to God?
Be still and listen, and just you pray for God's will in your life, and then you relax in it, and it will be revealed to you. And all this other stuff that's worldly is not of God. So if there's 10 kinds of love out there and 10 kinds of, or 20 or 100 kinds of religion, it's not the truth.
Yeah.
That's all I can say.
Does that help a little bit?
Oh, sure, it does.
I think he said it himself. I think he knows it to be true. It's just he's seeing that there's all this stuff out there. How can you know what's right?
Yes.
But you know what's right. You've already said it. You know it.
So I
It's in
have
your heart.
one other person want to add to it and bring it home a little bit. Right here. So, Martin, you know the Bible inside out, right? And so you walking down the road, he want to know, what should I do? Everything turned perverted, and I don't want to. I can't tell God what to do. I don't know why he's tripping. He's not doing it. What's wrong? What am I doing wrong? And remember, you have your halo on, so he know God is with you.
Okay. You are,
Isn't it so much fun?
do not try, first
Am I the only
rule,
one having fun? That is like a major question.
first and only rule, do not try to figure it out. Do not get up in your head with all the different weighing everything. Well, love is this. Well, this is kind of this. That will wipe you out. So when Brenda says, let it be revealed, that means after all the thoughts and noise has gone by, you'll know. It will just, all the rest of it will fall away, and you'll see clearly what is love and what is not. What is the Christ, what is not. What is his will and what is not.
Amazing. Let me find somebody holy. You're doing one thing wrong, man. Only. One thing. And, oh, Doug want to tell you. Good.
He's still playing God.
How's he playing God?
In his mind, he's got an expectation of what things should be instead of letting them happen. And that
Amazing. This is amazing. Well, I feel sorry for you, buddy. No, I'm kidding. No, they're totally right, but one little ingredient is missing. One last person. Go ahead, Frank.
Everybody gets whispering in their minds from Satan. Satan talks to everybody and feeding doubts, proving things. So just don't listen to it. Don't pay attention to it.
The one thing you're doing wrong, you're listening to the voice of Satan. You still believe him, and you don't believe God because you can't believe both. And so you still have a relationship with your imagination. Your thoughts are not your own. You don't create thoughts, and you're not your thoughts. And so you still believe the lie. And what Satan has done, he is pretending to be God. He fell away from God, but he made a promise that he's going to deceive every man, woman, and child, right? And the way he's doing it through your imagination. You're listening to his voice. God said, my children shall know me by my voice. But because of the trauma you went through growing up, you escaped into your imagination, and you have not realized that that's your enemy and not your friend. And if you ever understand that and stop listening to thoughts, then you can hear the voice of God, which is revelation. He doesn't talk to you, he revealed to you, right? He said, my children will know me by my voice. And as you're waking up, as this young man, John, as this man has done, they now recognize the voice of God and know that the voice in their head is a lie. He said, bring every thought into captivity. Don't believe any of them. And once you stop believing that, then things won't become perverted for you. Everything will turn out well. But you got to doubt every thought. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. And one of the things that I got from you that I changed, that I was really rigid about, is that I used to have goals. I used to think I have to have goals.
Yeah.
And if you don't, Zig Ziglar, one of the guys that had taught me, if you don't have a goal, if your goal is to hit nothing, you're going to hit it every time. and so I was really believed in having goals and outworking everyone in sight and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And when I heard you say that that you just have to wake up and let things happen.
Yes.
And that stop playing God, stop having goals, because maybe that's not the direction that God
It's
wants you
not.
to go to.
Anyone who
It
has-
really changed my life.
Oh, good, man.
in quite a bit. So I'm working on it.
Yeah, you are. I can tell. I mean, the question you're asking indicate that you're working on it for sure. And so what I encourage you to do, practice being aware of those thoughts. Just kind of step out of them and be aware and let them all pass. Even those that remind you of the so-called past or the so-called future, they all lie. They're set up. There is no past. There is no future. All you have is this moment. And God is in this present moment all the time, and He will add to you. He will guide your way. But you got to doubt every thought. Every one you get is a lie. All right?
I appreciate that.
Are you
Yes.
doing the silent prayer?
I'm doing it, but it just, it reminds me a lot of, because I had done, like I said, I've tried so many things. I tried Transcendental Meditation, and it was a lie. Because they had given me a mantra, and it was a Hindu word, which is actually a demon, one of their demon gods. And they had told me that it doesn't mean anything, Well, it was actually one of the millions of demon gods.
Yeah.
And I kept repeating it, and I wouldn't let the thoughts come in. And so it reminded me, I'm a little weary of it, because I was a little weary of it, but I'm working on it, and I'm not letting my thoughts get in, and I'm trying to just keep telling God, my will be done. And I'm getting better. I've got some issues to work out, but
I
little by little.
understand. You know, in the prayer that I made is you watch the thoughts. You don't deny them. You don't control them. You don't pick out the good ones and hold on to and let go of the bad ones. You don't try to keep them from getting in. You just watch them, and you will see that you're not your thought, that every thought is a lie. You don't want to have anything to do with it. And it's God who is allowing you to see the voice of Satan, and so that you know that's not his voice. And you start to doubt it. You want to watch them. You just don't want to be a part of it. You don't have to be chanting or doing anything. Because of yourself, you can do nothing. There's nothing. It's all spiritual, so there's nothing you can do. So he just wants you to relax and go for the ride. So give it a try, and just watch those thoughts. And you can, once you wake up, and you are waking up, otherwise you wouldn't have the insight that you're having. And so just relax and watch those thoughts, and it's going to be amazing. All right? But I understand that, you know, you have bad experiences with all that other stuff, and Satan will use that against you. Oh, this is the same thing. It's not the same. I heard about that stuff, but I don't know it that well. I've never done it. So just relax and doubt every thought you get. All right?
It goes back to that everything gets perverted. The strategy was correct, but the method, the mantra that they were saying,
Yes.
they said kick out all the thoughts and just repeat the mantra, and that way you'll relax, and it does make you smarter, it does make you feel different, but it's really not of God.
Yeah,
it's
not.
some of those Hindu spirits, which I believe are Satan now.
Yeah. It's crazy that we've been taught that there is something we can do. There's nothing we can do. We are dumb as a doorknob. We're really nothing. We're not important. People, you know, human beings tend to think that they're important. They're really not. You know, God will just let you die on Skid Row, and he'll go and make another baby and see if that baby does it right. And if that baby doesn't do it right, he'll let that baby die. Because we are not that important. And all the reason that he created us is to create love through us. And we should be grateful for that. And be grateful that we are sons and daughters of God. And just live. He just wants you to just live. There's nothing else to do. You shouldn't be struggling and trying to figure out and studying and all that crap. It just kills you. It doesn't give you life at all. So you're going to be fine, man.
I hope so. Sometimes I overdo it too, because I'm just a very rigid person, and I try to hit, like I said, I had goals, and I just learned that I got a master's degree and never used it. I started a business, so I never used it, so it was a waste of time, really.
Yeah.
That was one of the goals that I hit that for nothing.
Yeah.
So now I'm just living day by day and see
That's
where
right.
God takes me.
That's right. Go get your money back with your master's degree. That's amazing, man. I'm glad you came.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And this is your wife?
Yeah.
And what's your first name?
Elisa.
How are you?
Thanks.
So do you see a change in your husband?
Yes.
She's like, no, he's still a beta most of the time. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
You know?
She's shy in the beginning once she gets going.
Are you shy?
Yeah. Yes.
Fake. All right, I'm glad you're here. All right. So you had a question? You had your hand?
Yeah, but it was, I don't want to kind of get in an unrelated thing here. I was just going to talk about the Kavanaugh
Oh, we'll come back
hearings.
to that in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Any other question? Yes, sir.
Hey, Jesse.
Hey, buddy, I'm glad to see you.
Glad to see you.
All the way from Chicago, right?
Chicago, yeah. Marcus
Right
from
on.
Chicago.
Go ahead.
Oh, my question is, how would I know that I have a perfect sound mind?
Wow. That's another good question.
Because I really have the desire to spread your message and street preach, but I'm not sure if I'm ready or not.
Yeah. This young lady want to answer that for you. Hold on for the mic. How will he know if he has a sound mind? His mind's been renewed. Is this your first time here?
Yes.
Oh, welcome. What's your name?
Shauna.
Hi, Shauna.
Hi.
Are you married?
No.
Oh, good. Well, not good, but I'm just messing with you. Do you have a sound mind?
I'm a musician.
Oh, well, no, you don't have one. Do you sing?
I do.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, next Sunday you could do a song for us before we start.
Perhaps.
All right. So you don't have a sound mind?
I'm always singing in my head.
Yeah, I understand. Cheryl want to answer that for you. Cheryl, do you have a sound mind? Hold on a minute. You don't have a sound mind?
No.
I can't hear you.
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to come to you.
Yeah, don't come to me. No. Not for this one. No.
Anyone has a sound mind? Sure. You want to talk about Kavanaugh? I do. How would he know when he has a sound mind?
Spirit of God.
The Spirit of God?
Produce the sound mind.
He didn't ask how you get it. He want to know, how do you know you have it?
How do you know you have a sound mind?
Yes.
When you have sound thoughts.
Oh, Lord. Amazing. Do you have a sound mind?
Not 24/7.
Oh, okay. The young lady behind you. And then I'll answer it.
Well, the way I know that I have a sound mind is the thoughts don't affect me, or if I get a thought, it doesn't produce any physical stress or doesn't take me, left field or anything. I'm just able to judge it clearly and then move past it. It doesn't affect me at all.
When you get a sound mind, you're not tossed and turned back and forth with the imagination. You're able to see what to do and just do it. You're not moved by situations. You're overcoming them. You don't have doubt. And you're not thinking, I don't have doubt, right? You're just living and you realize, wow, normally I would have overreacted to that. Or normally I would have taken it personal when someone called you the N-word. Have you ever been called a nigger?
As a kid, yeah, by other kids, yeah.
But you're a Mexican.
But I'm dark-skinned, so.
Oh, I see. But that's how you would know. It won't matter because you will have God's mind. You will have a solid mind and you're able to overcome everything, and it's amazing. That's how you would know. You would get up, right, no anger. The anger will be gone. And you would get up in the morning, do your prayer, and do what's in front of you every day. And I'm telling you, life would just open up for you. You don't have to worry about what you're going to eat, what you're going to wear, who you're going to marry, where you're going to live. I'm not going to make it because I don't have a master's degree. None of that would be a part of your thinking. And you will see that you'll be provided in amazing ways, provided for. So that's how you would know. All right?
Because I don't have the anger.
Yeah.
It's gone. But there's times that I want to go out there and just spread the message, but my mind would play with me and say, nah, you're not ready.
Right.
You're going to meet someone else who's more intellectual and more smarter than you.
So now you have to stop listening to that.
Yeah.
And also, don't want to do that. Don't want to go out and do that. You should want for nothing. Because it's your ego that tells you, oh, you got it now. So go out and start preaching. And so that's a setup from Satan too. So God will open up that for you. If it's meant for you to do it that way, it will naturally open up for you. But if you're wanted for that, you're being tempted by the devil, and you'll find yourself out there doing it looking crazy. Don't want for that. It's a temptation. Resist that. He'll do it for you.
Even though if I've been having dreams of myself preaching in the streets, is that still temptation of the devil?
Yeah. So he couldn't convince you to do it by talking to you, so he waited until you fell asleep. He like, go preach. I'm God. Go preach. You heard the truth, you have it, go tell it. You're going to be able to help people in front of you. It'll open up. When I started doing what I am doing now, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea what it would turn out to be. Because first of all, I don't speak well. I don't, I don't have the English thing going on. Then I have a cleft lip, so my words are not clear. And I never imagined doing what I do. But then once he took that anger from me, he allowed me to see what to do next. And he caused me to realize that black people are suffering not because of racism, but they're like a moral character. They're angry, they're immoral, and they've been lied to, right? And so he made me realize that I just wanted to have a meeting just for that only, just to tell them, you know what, cut out the crap, forgive, and you'll be fine. And we had this meeting, and one thing just led to another one. They wanted more, so we came up with a name, and then they wanted more. And then I was interviewed by the Los Angeles Times, and I was thrown out of schools, and everything just started opening up. That's how it's going to happen. But don't be wanting for that. You should only want and seek the kingdom of God in his right way, and all will be added. It'll be added unto you. Don't want for anything, because whatever you're wanting for, you're putting that first.
Yeah, because I've noticed, like, ever since I forget my parents, I've noticed that more people are, like, they're coming towards me for advice and stuff like that. And I'll give it out, but it may not be really good advice, but at least it's helping them out.
It'll happen naturally.
Okay.
All right? And if he wants you out there preaching, you'll find yourself out there preaching. But he'll lead you in the right way to go, and it'll work out. All right? Did you have your hand?
Yeah, I just wanted to add to my... good to be back here, Jesse.
Yeah, good. Did you have fun at the Slut Walk?
Oh, I wasn't at the Slut Walk.
Oh, that was the other guy from Atlanta.
Yeah.
Remember the guy that was here Thursday night?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
That was him yesterday.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All you people look alike. Don't all black people look alike?
But
look, doesn't Joel look like him? That's why when you guys rob and steal, we just pick up the first black one on the street.
But I just wanted to add to the whole about sound mind, as I was thinking, like, if one reason I think if I'm getting towards having a sound mind is that I'm able to sleep like a baby, sleep peacefully, and then wake up real refreshed. Have a good night's sleep. But then I did have a question too, that me and my friend Marco were asking about. What is the difference between having a want and a desire?
Amazing. That's a good question. A want
or a desire.
I don't have a want, but I've always desired to be a son of God. I remember as a little kid, I had read and heard that if you are a son or a daughter of God, life is perfect, right? And so I've always wanted to know, what is it like to live on earth as a son of God? I had that desire, and so that has been given to me. But I don't have any wants. I think the wants is the ego thing. Like he wants to go preach, or he wants to get rich, or blah, blah, blah. I think that's the difference. The desire is to love what's right, and and be what's right. A want seems to be selfish, I think. Anybody else relate to that? Anybody know? Oh, okay. All right. But I think that's the difference. Did you want to, the difference between a desire and a want?
Yeah, the desire is just deeper.
Yeah.
Like the heart of hearts.
Yeah, it's more real, I think.
It's even hidden sometimes, I find.
Yeah. It's a selfish thing. The want is a selfish thing. Let me ask, is this your first time here? Yes. Take the mic back. He's here, give me the mic away.
Yes.
No, I was going to answer your question.
What's your name?
Michael.
Michael, how did you hear about us?
Your Savage Moments.
My Savage Moment?
Yeah. The compilations.
That'll do it.
On YouTube.
And so, any questions?
No, not right now.
Are you a beta or alpha?
Alpha.
You an alpha?
Yeah.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
How come I can't hear you if you're an alpha?
I talk kind of low.
Why?
I tend to think the loudest person is the weakest.
Is the weakest?
Yeah.
Who told you that?
No one.
And so, but you need to speak up so we can hear you. You know what I'm saying? In the alpha male, you can hear him. That makes sense? Did you
Yeah.
overcome your anger?
Yeah.
You did? How?
Just
Any day now.
I just kind of I just decided that I didn't need it anymore.
I'm sorry?
I decided that I didn't need it anymore.
And then what happened?
I stopped jerking off.
What?
Yeah. I stopped masturbating. I stopped masturbating and looking at pornography.
Oh, okay. That's a sign of an alpha.
Well, then I
Let me
found-
ask, did you go and forgive your mother and father?
Yeah.
You went to them?
Over the phone. I haven't seen them in a while.
Oh.
Yeah.
Do they live here in California?
No.
Oh. And how did it go when you went to forgive, when you talked to them? What happened?
I think I need to do it again.
And why?
Just not enough has changed. I'm still dealing with things in an immature way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
How old are you?
33.
How much?
33.
Oh, okay. All right. Are you able to, you live here in LA?
Yeah.
Are you able to come in for counseling?
Yeah.
All right. Call the office this week and set up an appointment.
Okay.
Because you need some help, man.
Yeah.
All right? I can tell. You'll be fine, though.
I know.
Yeah, you'll be fine. So
Okay.
will you come in?
Yeah, I'll come in.
Yeah, call the office this week and set up an appointment.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Any other questions for me?
No.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. All right. All right. You can give it to him now. Oh, let me do this. Yesterday I was at the Slut Walk, and the sluts were out. Anybody know what the Slut Walk, don't know what the Slut Walk is? Oh, you don't know, Raymond? So every year, this woman, Amber Rose, have a big parade of sluts, and they have like events, and the sluts come out half dressed and slutty and half naked and twerking, and it's like all the degenerates come out, right? And what they want to do is take the shame out of being sluts. So they don't want you to see them in that way. Even though they have, they want to have sex with everybody and their daddy. And it's just a bunch of sluts and lesbians and homosexual people. Those are the sluts that are there. And it is a sight for sore eyes. It's a mess. Caesar, you were there, right? Yes, sir. That's your first one? Yeah. Yeah, and what did you think?
I was a little worried, honestly, before. I thought it was going to be a true test. I'm like, oh, man, put myself in that environment, and Satan's going to give me those lustful thoughts, you know?
Right.
But I walked home feeling really good, to be honest with you, Jesse, because none of it had any effect on me, because I saw everything for what it was.
That's right.
You know? But the most interesting thing was me and Esteban were making it, we were talking.
Esteban and I.
And and we noticed, we were walking around and we made this observation where it's supposed to be, liberating, and these women are supposed to be free and happy, but there was just a lot of sadness in their eyes.
And that's the point I want to make.
Yeah, the
You're
energy
right about
was
that.
dark.
Yeah, it really was.
Really dark.
Joel, you and Trevor were trying to hit on this last, right?
Not true.
What were y'all doing then?
We were doing.
So I looked around at one point. He and Trevor were standing up talking to these two little cute girls, right? And they were all Mac-dadding, and the girl was going,
Not
girly. And I'm thinking, they're not supposed to be out here hitting on the girls.
No, not true.
They're like hitting on the sluts.
We were doing what you were doing in a smaller way.
What was that?
We were just talking to him about being a slut. Why do you think it's good to be a slut?
Oh,
And
y'all
just-
look mighty happy.
No.
But I want to just add to what Caesar said. It was a sad thing, really. If you have any love in your heart, there's no way you can hate those people for being that way. You really can't. It's clear that what they're missing is love. They're missing the love of a father and a mother. And so they're in this fallen state, and they're seeking pleasure. They are seeking confirmation, approval, and they really can't help it. I interview, and you're going to see it next week, I hope, or the week after. I interviewed many of them, and it was sad. They don't realize it. They kind of realize it when I was interviewing them. Some of them get mad because the questions make them feel uncomfortable. And so they get mad and start screaming and run off, or they're like, I don't like your question. Because I would ask them, are you a slut? And they'll get mad with just that question like that. Because it's something about it that make them know that they're wrong, right? There was one woman out there with her daughter and son, teenage kids. And she was dressed like a slut, the mother was. And she was like, oh yeah, I teach my kids to be a slut. I have sex in front of them, I do whatever I want. It doesn't matter. You're supposed to be free to do what you want. And so I'm talking to the son and the daughter, and you can tell they're going down the wrong track. But they are sad. It's a sad, sad situation. It's so sad that you can't really laugh at them. You can laugh how silly they are, because it was a mess. You even had like these, just real fat women with nothing on. And they were saying, so I'm asking, why are you out here naked? Well, she said, like, I'm trying to overcome fat shaming. I'm like, are you serious? How you going to overcome fat shaming by getting naked and walking in the streets? If you want to overcome fat shaming, either lose the weight or hide it with big clothes. You know what I'm saying? You don't put it in the streets so people can see it. But the lady was a sad lady. It's a sad situation. And I even told them that 20 years from yesterday, they're going to look back on this and regret what they've done. Because unless they change, they're going to get worse rather than getting better. But it was a sad situation. And it reminds me that to let men know that women really need you. They need you to be men. They need you to be right men. Women need men in the same manner that men need Christ. Can you imagine what would happen if Christ was like a beta Christ? He was weak and pathetic. We couldn't get back to the Father. And women, when men are weak, women go out of control. They really do, because they don't have that light. They can't look at their fathers when they're kids growing up, or their husbands, boyfriends and husbands when they're growing up. They can't see the right way to go because your light is out. And they need that order of God. They really do. And men are in a fallen state right now. And these women are going out of control. Those women did not have a good relationship with their fathers, with their mothers. And Amber Rose is just helping them to stay in hell, really, because she's in hell. Women need men. And you see how men are under attack today. And men are hated because they are sons of God. They're the Christ. Even if they're weak, they still represent that, but in a weak way. And Satan understands that, so he's using angry women, weak men to destroy men. That's what this is all about. It's a spiritual battle. It's not physical at all. And men, you need to wake up. It's okay to be a man. It really is so nice. It's not hard. It's not difficult. Matter of fact, it's easier to be a man than it is to be a beta male. Because when you're a beta male, you need approval, you need love, you need all this stuff to try to make yourself feel better. You don't need all that once you become an alpha male again. Women need men. Look how crazy the women are in the Democratic Party. They kill you to get what they want, because they have not had fathers and good mothers to guide them, good fathers and mothers. And so they want power. They think power, power, power by any means necessary. And that's going to affect all of us if that should happen. So men need to be men. And I understand you don't know what happened. You're learning how did you become so weak. But men need men. You need to stop being little boys and stop being afraid. It's okay to be white, and it's okay to be a man. It really is okay to be a man. And if you had seen yesterday, you would realize, yeah, they need good fathers. They need good husbands. They need men. Right here and then there. Oh, okay.
No, I just wanted to add that absolutely. I was at the Slut Walk. I was sitting down and I saw this woman taking pictures at the pole with the pole.
Yeah.
Right, and she had two little kids, a little girl and a little boy, probably 5 and 6, and she had a hat on, said slut or whatever, and there was a banner in the back that said slut. So she really wanted to take a picture with the kids, and the little boy had more sense than anybody there. The whole time he was just covering his face. He felt so shameful.
Yeah.
And his mom was like lecturing him, putting his hands down to take a picture, and the little boy was just like this the whole time. And I was sitting there, and you're so right. If that woman had a strong man in her life, there's no way he would have allowed that to happen.
Yeah, the boy would not have been there.
He would not have been there.
I doubt if she would have either if she had a real man in her life.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of kids, not a lot, but many kids out there yesterday seeing all that. Because Satan wanted to kill your soul. He wanted it as early as possible in life. Yes, sir.
So
you were there early, huh?
I got there way too early.
Yeah, you got there at 9 a.m. He got there so early, he saw the first slut come in.
Yeah, it was weird.
He was the only guy there to watch all the other sluts coming in.
And setting up the booths.
Yeah.
And one of the interesting things I noticed, though, when I got there early, like people, I mean, when you're in there, they don't really think of you as any different. I'm glad I didn't wear my hat, so, you know. But I was sitting down and I was listening, I guess, kind of, these two girls were talking next to me, and they were talking exactly about what you're talking about right now. One of them had stated how in her relationship she was just so disappointed.
Yes.
She was like, I don't want to take care of my boyfriend. It's just too much. It's too much emotions. Like, how am I supposed to take care of myself? And so it made complete sense what you're talking about. And I was able to just kind of observe quietly without trying to interrupt, and just I heard them and I was like, wow, this is everything that you've said is just so true. And they're talking about it and they don't even know that something's wrong, or they do know something's wrong, but they put themselves in this situation of the slut walk or whatever to kind of either get rid of that and kind of immerse themselves in something else to distract them from
it's the same as smoking pot or drinking or anything. You're trying to find something to make you feel better because you have so much conflict and you're so unhappy. So, you know, I'll join the sluts. Exactly. You know, so that's what's happening with that. They want to hang out with people who agree with them so they can feel better about being wrong. It's so amazing.
It was amazing, and it was sad because, you know, just being able to see her talking about it, and I wanted to say something, but...
But what? You were scared.
No, I wasn't.
Beta! No, I'm kidding. There's a proper time to, a time when to and a time not to.
I didn't want to get attacked.
You didn't want what?
Get attacked.
Beta! What do you mean by that? They were attacking me like 90 going north yesterday.
I thought you guys were...
Oh, my God.
I thought you guys were going to get in, so I didn't pay for my ticket, so... If I got kicked out, I wouldn't have been able to go back in.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I wanted to say something. Oh, there was one white woman there, and I don't know what her problem was. She came over to me. I was doing an interview with someone. She came over and just stood there, and she said, F you. And then she ran away. And then she just started walking around me. I was like, what is this white woman up to? And then I was like, come here, I want to talk to you. I wanted to find out why she's tripping, right? But she wouldn't come close enough to talk to me. She just surrounded me. But she was so angry. And then I would call all kind of names, but there were people who liked me as well, but it was a mess. But I have thanks to God, I have no fear of that, you know? I watch my back. I have people around me to watch my back. But I don't have fear. You can't be afraid when that kind of opportunity comes.
Yeah. You know, I think that, and as you say it today, and you're saying that opportunities present itself.
They present themselves.
I think that was a perfect moment that I had missed.
Yeah. So you're sitting there, you're hearing this, and you see that they want to know, want to understand. Just tell them and then leave it alone. But Satan talked you out of it. Like, you're going to get thrown out, you're going to get beat up. But being thrown out is worth giving it that kind of information to two people.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was this fat slut there. And I said she's fat because she said she was trying to take the shame out of body shaming or something, right? But the fat slut, I was sitting down. I need to show you. And you're going to see this on the video, I think. So I'm sitting there talking to these other ladies around me. And the fat slut came and sat on my lap. And she was so big, you couldn't even see me anymore. And then when the fat slut sat on me, some more, a lesbian slut sat on me, and two just sluts sat on, regular sluts. And they were like, go off on them, you know, tell them this. But I was kind to them. And then one of them started asking me things about, well, what do you think the problem is, you know? And I explained to her they needed love. They needed to love their fathers and mothers. And she was like, you think it's just that? It's not slavery. It's not what black, I said, no, you need to love your parents. And you could see that it kind of sparked them to think just a little bit about that. So when those opportunities come, you know, I was nice to the sluts. It was fun. And then they were twerking me. You know what I mean? Brenda, you're going to love this one. So these two big butt sluts. So I'm sitting there doing an interview, right? And they came and sandwiched me in. And they were twerking me. They were laughing and taking pictures. The bodyguards laughing and taking pictures while the two big butt women twerking me. Isn't that something? They are having fun. But what I noticed is if you don't judge them, they'll be nice to you a little bit because they don't feel that resentment coming from you. And then you can really communicate with them when they don't feel you judging them. You know, and so we got to stop judging. And judgment, non-judgment doesn't mean that you're accepting it. It's just you're not hating it. And we have no right to hate anyone. None of us. That make sense? All right. Let me take one more question here or comment, and then I have something to share and we're going to be done. Are you having fun? Oh, yeah, I forgot about you, James. In the hat right there behind you.
Yeah,
so you're from Georgia, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Atlanta, okay.
Mm-hmm. I just wanted to say
you were at the Slut Walk.
Yeah, and I found out why I was there.
You don't have your own Slut Walk in Georgia?
We used to have a Freaknik back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, once upon a time.
Right.
They tried to bring it back too. It would, yeah, it was still bad, but it wasn't as worse as it used to be.
Right.
But yeah, I didn't know what I was there for. It was I thought I was at an interview, and I was like, why am I doing that? That's Jesse's thing. And then I went ahead and did it anyway. I started to do it anyway. And just like you said, they need love. So that's what I went there with. I just wanted to approach them with love.
Yeah.
So I got a weird response for everybody who I attempted to interview, but everybody said no. And
oh, no one allowed you to interview them?
Yeah, they all said no. So it was weird when I started to. Like, I approached them with love, so they accepted it. But then they just started to question it, and then I guess it was because I had this on. You know, so I still haven't been home yet. But
you have on Pray?
Pray Harder. And I don't know if
you
it just
think
looks
the slut's going to let you interview them with this big prayer sign on?
Right. I think that's that may be what made it weird.
Yeah, it
but
is.
yeah, it was so strange because like literally every single person, it was the same reaction. If it was multiple people, because I didn't do one-on-ones, it was somebody who was like, yeah, let's do it, but then the other people were like, no. And then when they're like, no, it's like, oh yeah, well no, they said no, so no. And I'm like, they're easily swayed, even if they know what's right, or if they want to do something that's something else, or if they feel something else, somebody can just sway them a different way. But
yeah,
I'm glad
they definitely need the love of Father. That's what's missing, folks. If those men and women had love, they would not be down there sledding, because they would have character. They would know it's embarrassed to be that way. You know, nothing I should be proud of and stuff like that. Let me take a question from James, and then I gotta wind down here.
Okay.
You have not lived until you've gone to a slut walk.
Moxie,
Slut!
Moxie girl.
Moxie Girl wants to know, how do you deal with smear campaign? How do you forgive people who are intentionally trying to smear you?
That's a good question. See what's going to happen once you overcome the anger, because you can't pre-plan how you're going to deal with situations, right? Because you don't know. But once you overcome that anger, you have the natural confidence that you're going to be able to deal with it properly. You'll see in the moment what to do, how to handle it, and how to overcome it. You don't have to pre-plan that. You have to wait until it happens so you can see what to do about it. But you just overcome that anger, and then you will see how to do it. That's how you do it. When you're walking in the light, you don't need to pre-plan anything, because you can see what's in front of you to do and just live that way. That makes sense? Yeah, that's the beauty about walking in the light, is that you don't have to plan anything. It's already laid out for you. One thing leads to another one, to another one, and to another one, to another one, and to another one. And then you're just like, wow, this is amazing. And things are happening that you could never think of doing. His way is easier and better than your way, which is Satan's way. You can never imagine that. So don't, just get over the anger, you will see how to deal with it. One more?
Erica is asking, can I write a letter to my parents to forgive them because they're unstable and unsafe to be around? Can I forgive them and not be in contact with them? And thanks for all you do.
When I hear write letters, it sounds like a cowardly way out. But if they're going to hurt you in a physical way, why don't you give them a call or something? Can't you phone call? Because you want to be able to communicate with them if possible. So I recommend you give a phone call to them. Because writing a letter is cowardly. You want to face your enemy so you can overcome your enemy, instead of writing a letter. Is this your first time here? Oh, you with them? Oh, how you doing? What's your name? Mary Lou? And you having fun right now?
It's learning. Yeah.
And what are you learning?
Everyone has their own demons.
Yeah. Are you overcoming your demons?
I've always felt like I've stayed in the straight path.
Oh,
I was never afraid to stand alone, and my family has good morals.
But
my brothers are the ones that stray a little.
Are you related to these people?
Yes.
How are you related? Who are you related to?
My brother, his wife,
and this is your brother.
Yeah, my other brother, and then his wife.
Okay.
My niece.
Amazing. Yeah. And so you've never had anger?
Not really. I've always kind of been shy, and I just learned from everybody else's mistakes.
So you've been shy?
Yeah.
Why?
I was the youngest, and I just stayed down. But I was just really uncomfortable that everyone is saying sluts. And
everyone is what?
How you're...
how I'm saying slut?
Yeah, because...
did you say that? That's what you said?
Yeah.
You're uncomfortable the way we're saying slut?
Yes, because a lot of us, I feel we're never with God until the day we die.
Oh.
And Satan is always trying to bring us on his side. And it's a war. And maybe one day I may be a slut.
You may be a slut one
No,
day?
I don't know.
Did you guys know that?
No, I'm
one
married.
One day your sister might be a slut.
No, I'm married, but...
Oh, you're married?
Yes.
So how you going to be a slut?
No, because I've seen women that are very close to God and married, and once they divorce, they become, overcome with the Jezebel spirit.
To God, though. Those women were not close to God.
Yeah.
You cannot be one with God and become a slut.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you're in, you can never leave. Once you become a son or daughter of God, there is no turning back. Once you're born again, you can never be unborn. And so when they became sluts after they divorced, they were just pretending to be close to God. That's why they divorced.
Mm-hmm.
So they were never close to God. And so, how you feel knowing one day you might be a slut?
No, I'm just saying that I don't feel any of us are safe until the day of our death.
No, that's not true.
That's what I feel.
He wants you to have faith now, and he wants you to be perfect now. Did you know that?
No.
Have you read in the Bible where it says, be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect?
Yes, but like my brother says, Satan is always leaking close by. And when he sees you're close to God, he will trick you.
But once you become one with
you.
God, he can't trick you anymore. Because you no longer, you resist him by resisting his suggestions to you, his thoughts.
Well, I feel like we have to fight every day. Like
No.
Every day a new day.
Don't fight. There's nothing you can do about it. It's a spiritual battle. There's nothing you can do. And the more you fight it, the deeper you get into it. And you will become a slut. When I hear the word slut, do you think we think you are a slut?
No, I just feel we shouldn't label anybody.
They label themselves that.
Yeah, we'll just say they're filled with the spirit of Jezebel.
Oh, rather than saying slut?
Yeah.
But they want to be called sluts. We're not calling them anything that they don't want to be called. Next year, go to the slut walk. You see what we mean. All right, so I got a question. A real good question, but I can only do 5 minutes on it, all right? And we're going to have videos of this tomorrow on the show. There are, everybody and their mama are coming out now saying that they've been raped or abused or molested. The women are. Have you noticed that? Just a whole bunch of them now. There's a video that I just saw this morning. A bunch of women coming out. Oh, I was raped. I was molested. So my question is, why are they coming out and saying this? Adult women. Why are they confessing that they have been raped, abused, or molested? What's the purpose behind it? Why the adult women are doing this? I wondered this morning, why are they doing this? Do you know why they're doing it?
Well, I believe it. They're
No, your wife.
Can you just speak for me?
Oh, you don't speak English?
Barely, not that much.
What?
I promised them when I dragged them in there that they weren't going to talk.
Oh, I see. Oh, okay. All right. All right. You made a promise. No? Oh, you had to get them here some kind of way, huh? I understand.
Can I answer? I think. Can I give my opinion?
Yes, you can, man. Hold on for the mic. I'm sorry. I need 5 minute conversation on this.
I think they're trying to weaken the man. You say the order of God is God the Father through Christ, Christ through man, man through women. And I think they're trying to snatch the man out of that order and put the woman there in order so the devil can step in. That's one of the reasons that they're trying to do that. And
so that's why these adult women are coming out doing this.
I think so that more men could be meeker and less more afraid to do anything.
Yeah.
Just
okay.
They're
trying to weaken the man.
Him?
I think the devil is using women.
Yeah.
And all these crazy movements of the feminism and everything.
Yeah.
It's just going the wrong way, and women are looking weaker, not stronger.
That's right. They are looking weaker. So I'm wondering, why are they doing this? Let me take way to the back first. Isn't this a good question? Why? Right here.
I think what they're doing is they're basically raping the word rape. And through because a lot of them are doing out of anger to destroy somebody or whatever, but I think behind the scenes, the devil is working through them so that the actual victims, when they come out, nobody's going to believe them. It becomes this ridiculous thing where you're like, okay, you got raped, whatever.
So they're doing it, they're raping the rape?
No, the word rape, it has lost its meaning because of their actions. Because we have been reading article after article how all these women are being caught or they develop conscience and guilt. years later and they admit that they lied about a certain person, and the guy's in jail 20 years or whatever,
Yeah.
and their lives are ruined. But it's like lie after lie, it's coming to the surface, and that just diminishes actual rape victims.
When I hear it, I just roll my eyes. It reminds me of the blacks complaining about racism or slavery or something like that. Chanel, why are they doing this? Why? Why? Why?
Well, I look
These
at,
are adult women. There's
Yeah.
a woman that's like 90 years old. She's on the video. I was raped when I was 9. And she's 90 years old now. Who cares at 90? You know? But anyway, go ahead.
Well, I look at it from the Trump's presidency. So I believe that he's like the Moses for America. I believe God put him there to save this country. And I believe that this effort by the Me Too, the feminist movement, it's like Satan inspired. So I think it's him that's moving upon these women to, I don't know, somehow get out this like agenda that, you know, I don't know. I really think it's just evil, and it's just an attempt to destroy Trump's presidency, because it's not about Trump. It's about what God's doing in this
Right.
country.
Amazing.
So it's, yeah.
Also notice that they only do it with conservative Christian men. They don't do it like Bill Clinton's still their best friend. Bill Clinton campaigned for them. It's only when it seemed to be conservative Christian men. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to deal with this tomorrow. That's going to be my biblical question. Why are all these adult women crying rape and molestation? James told me that my producer said that when they say they've been abused, I think that's what he said, they don't necessarily mean they've been raped, but it gives the impression that they've been raped. Is that right, James? Yeah. So they'll leave you thinking that they mean rape when it doesn't mean that.
Yeah, they'll just call it sexual assault, and they'll just
Oh,
call
yeah,
anything
sexual assault.
sexual assault.
And so you're thinking that they were raped or something, but that's not the case. I got to end this, so I'm sorry I know a lot, and I knew once I brought it up, it's going to take more than 5 minutes. But just think about it while they're doing this. Don't just fall into it. Pay attention. Like Joel said, think for yourself. Because they'll play it over and over and over and over and over and over again. And if you're not paying attention, you find yourself believing into it. Like, all these women are getting raped. And then, if you don't believe them, they say, you can't disagree. You have to believe it just because she said it. How evil is that? So just think about that. Will you read Malachi 3:23 for me real fast? Malachi 3:23. Well, you said it was 4:6 or something. Right. And then we're out of here. Any questions about any of this? Why? That's right. Okay, thanks. Wrong question. I'm going to give you this, and I want to encourage you to pray. Really, do the silent prayer. You can still do your hooping and hollering prayer, the Christian prayer. Do that first. Oh, thank you, Jesus. Yes, Lord. And then when you're finished with that, calm down, be still, and know God. And you'll see the right way to go. All right? Yes.
Malachi 4:6, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse.
That's what needs to happen right now. If ever there was a time to turn the hearts and minds back to the fathers, and the fathers to the children, is now. We really got to do that, because these people are suffering due to the lack of fathers. Or even if the father was in the home and he wasn't a good example, a living example, and you turn away from him, or your mothers turn you away from your father, it leaves that void, it leaves an emptiness in your life. And it's not going to change until you love your father, your earthly father. You can never, ever, ever love God or know God until you love your earthly father. And that's why Satan has turned people away from the earthly father, because of who he represents. So you got to love your fathers. Yeah.
I see why you picked 23. It's even better.
Okay.
All right. Look, I shall send you the prophet Elijah before the great and awesome day of Yahweh comes. He will reconcile parents to their children and the children to their parents, to forestall my putting the country under the curse of destruction.
Yeah, that's right. When men fall apart, fall away from God, and become subject to the woman, the world falls apart because of that order of God. And nothing else is going to work but that order. And I'm telling you, men and women, once you overcome that anger, and if they call you a misogynist or racist or whatever, it won't bother you at all. You realize they just can't see because you have perfect love for them. And in perfect love, it casts out fear. And you'll be able to naturally stand up for what is right. But you got to overcome the anger, men and women. If you don't overcome that anger, you're going to suffer. Your eyes are open, but you're dying. You're not living. You're not living. But the moment you overcome that anger, you start to live just like that. You wake up. That's all it takes. Forgive, and you shall be forgiven. All right? So I had fun. Did everybody have fun? Yes. Did you have fun? Yes. Don't worry, you're not going to become a slut. Let your sister know she's not going to be a slut.
She's never been one, she's never going to be.
Right. No, don't worry. And it's okay to call them sluts, because that's what they want to be called. But just don't hate them for it. All right? Thank you for tuning in too, folks. We need your donations and tithes and offerings and things like that. What else? If you need counseling, we have the best counseling service on this side of heaven. So just give a call or go online and make an appointment, and you will not be disappointed. I think tomorrow's a holiday, right? Yes. Tomorrow is Columbus Day. Oh yeah. Indigenous People Day. But we'll be open, and we'll be doing the show tomorrow. So tune into the show tomorrow. And I appreciate you all coming. Thank you for coming today. I appreciate it.